Good morning students, how are you all? Today we will discuss the next chapter, that is chapter number 2 is matter around us pure. It means हमारे चारों तरफ जो भी matter है, different forms of matter हैं, क्या वो सभी pure हैं या नहीं? We will discuss all these things in this chapter. Now, if you have heard about milk, if a person is taking milk at the rate of 55 rupees per liter and you ask कि अरे इतना महंगा, so he says because शुद्ध दूध it does not contain any water, it does not contain any adulteration. Okay, if we are talking about biscuit, if you see the packet of biscuit, it contains lot of the things, that is ingredients present in that biscuit. So is it pure? If we are talking about cold drinks, that is carbonated water, it contains carbon dioxide dissolved in water. So are all these things pure which we are taking in our daily life? So just see what is actually a pure substance. A pure substance is a substance which is made up of only one kind of particle. इसके सारे constituent particles same chemical nature के होते हैं. That is called a pure substance. For example, we are taking sodium chloride, common salt, नमक लेते हैं. So each and every crystal is of same chemical nature. If we are taking sugar, each and every particle of that sugar is of same chemical nature. So we say they are pure substances. That means if we see all around, most of the things which we take in our daily life, they are not pure substances. That means क्या वो impure है? नहीं. We say that they are not pure, but they all are mixtures. That means they are made up of more than one kind of pure substance. When more than one kind of pure substance combines together, then they form mixtures. Understood? If you are taking example of a milk, milk is made up of fat, proteins and water. That means it is not a single substance, it is a mixture of many things. Then we say that milk is formed. That means pure substance वो substance है जिसके अंदर जितने भी constituent particles हैं उनकी nature same रहेगी. But in case of a mixture, when two or more than two pure substances combines together, then they form mixtures. Understood? If we see milk, biscuit, cold drinks, they all are mixtures. And if we say pure substance, all the elements and all the compounds are pure. If we take iron, Fe, if we keep on breaking, hammering that iron, it breaks up into small and small parts. Now, each and every part of that iron is totally pure. That means it shows same chemical properties as iron has. That means pure substance contains all the particles and which are of same chemical nature. Understood? Now students, we can easily classify matter by the help of this flow chart. Matters are classified as pure substances and mixtures, which I have told just now. Now pure substances are further classified into elements and compounds, and mixtures are further classified into homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Here elements are further divided into metals, non-metals and metalloids, whereas here heterogeneous mixtures are further classified into two types, that is colloids and suspensions. Understood? Now students, see the next topic, different types of mixtures. There are two types of mixtures, one is homogeneous mixture and other is heterogeneous mixture. Now we can distinguish both of them on the basis of composition, boundary and physical states. Let's see homogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixtures are those mixtures which have a uniform composition throughout. Uniform composition का मतलब from top to bottom they have same composition. अगर हम sugar लेते हैं and we dissolve sugar in water, after some time we see that sugar disappear. That means sugar goes into the spaces present in water and hides. That means from top to bottom the taste remains the same. Similarly, we can take an example of salt. When we dissolve salt in water, after some time the salt disappear and we get salt solution. That means from top to bottom the taste remains the same. So that means they have uniform composition throughout. Next is heterogeneous mixture. On the basis of composition, it is having non-uniform composition. That means from top to bottom they do not have same composition. If we take sand and we put sand in water, after some time we observe that sand settle down at the bottom. That means at the bottom composition of sand is more and at the top it is very less. So it is having non-uniform composition. Understood? Next is boundary. In case of homogeneous mixture, there is no separate boundary seen between salt and water. That means salt completely goes into the spaces and there is no boundary of separation between the two components. That means there is no boundary in homogeneous mixture. In case of heterogeneous mixture, once the sand settle down at the bottom, we see that there is a separate boundary of water and sand which can be seen by our naked eye. That means In case of homogeneous, there is no boundary of separation, and in case of heterogeneous mixture, there is a boundary of separation between the two components. Understood? Now physical states. Homogeneous mixture exists in all the three physical states, that means solid, liquid and gas. In case of solids, we say alloy. If we are talking about alloys, copper and zinc, brass. Brass is a mixture of copper and zinc, that is pital. If we are taking that brass, we cannot see copper and zinc. That means it is having a homogeneous composition. We cannot distinguish between copper and zinc if we take the brass. Understood? If we take liquid, if we dissolve alcohol in water, we cannot examine which is alcohol and which is water. So in that case, it is having a homogeneous mixture. In case of gas, air is a homogeneous mixture of different gases. We cannot say, okay, in this much portion of air, it is having carbon dioxide, it is having oxygen, it is having this much amount of nitrogen. We cannot say. It is homogeneous in nature. Understood? In case of heterogeneous mixtures, solids, physical state, it exists as gemstones. जो नक पहनते हैं अंगूठी में, that is gemstones. So they all are heterogeneous mixtures. Similarly, in case of liquid milk, I have told you, in case of milk, it contains fat, proteins, water. That means it is heterogeneous mixtures. Next is gas. If we are talking about air, which contains dust particles, so in that case we say yes, it is also a heterogeneous mixture, which is having non-uniform composition. In that way, we can distinguish between homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Understood?